You've lost your will to live. You've gradually lost your desire for many things in your life. You've begun to disown yourself, and without realizing it, it's as if you're losing your sense of purpose. It scares you. You feel like you have no desire for anything. Let me tell you something, it's as standard, common, normal as it seems or as you think. Not wanting to live, not wanting to do anything, is a symptom of depression. It's a disorder that affects more than 300 million people worldwide. I've suffered from it too. I've also lost my desire to continue living. I've lost my desire for many things in my life, to do things I used to be passionate about. I've also felt lost, aimless, not knowing what my life will be like. That's why, on this day when I want to share this message with you, I want you to know that you're not lying, and that I know what you're feeling is real. I understand. And I understand everything you're thinking or what you've been feeling all this time. If you find yourself in a situation where discomfort is constant, you may have even had thoughts like, I have absolutely no desire to do anything. I have no desire to live. These phrases arise from an emotional and psychological state of apathy. In other words, you feel uninterested and unmotivated to make plans and take action. Tiredness, you feel exhausted. You feel without energy or will to carry out your daily tasks or activities. Hopelessness, you've lost hope. But why don't you have the will to live anymore? There could be many reasons. It could be due to a stressful situation, that is, you've experienced an event that overly stresses you in your life. It could be a change, a significant loss, and this has led you to develop an adjustment disorder or, in this case, a depressive disorder. It could also be due to a traumatic situation. That is, you may have suffered a traumatic event, such as some type of abuse in your life, or mistreatment, violence, something that has truly left its mark on you. Something that, from that moment until now, you have not been able to overcome. It may also be that your childhood experiences have caused you to develop personality traits that tend toward a depressed mood. These personality traits include dependency, self-criticism, or pessimism. But let me also tell you that it may be due to some organic change, whether biological or chemical in the brain, that is affecting your mood regulation. Hormonal changes should also be considered, and these same hormonal changes may be affecting your mood regulation. Believe me, hormones can change due to pregnancy, menopause, and also due to dysfunctions in glands like the thyroid, among other causes. It's likely that everything you're thinking, these losses you're experiencing, may be due to some illness in your life. Only you know what's causing this feeling, these shortcomings, this lack of desire to live. Only you know what really triggered all of this. Let's ask ourselves something fundamental. What's not happening? What's left a mark on your life? What have you been unable to overcome to this day? What have you just been unable to get over? If you're in a deep depression, it's completely normal to have pessimistic thoughts. And this is due to tiredness and hopelessness. But how can you get out of a deep depression? How can you stop feeling the way you feel now? Let me tell you, if you have the thought that you don't want to live, that you don't want to live anymore, you have. Do you want to know something? Human beings are designed to fulfill two basic functions and nothing more. The first, survival, and the second, the continuation of the species. This means that our bodies are designed to ensure our own survival and that of the species. In other words, our brain is like a machine whose purpose is to help us adapt to our environment and survive. Therefore, it is in our nature to want to live. So, what can you do if you don't have the will to live? What can you do if you've completely lost it? How can you regain your will to live? I wish I had a magic wand to tell you, you have to do exactly this. But I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to deceive you, because that doesn't exist. It's not true. But I would love to, and I want to share with you at least a few things that will help you a lot. Something that will help you rediscover yourself, to find that path you once lost, so that you can feel better again. The first thing I'd love to suggest is, do something that makes you feel good. In other words, the first thing we should do when we're feeling low is to boost our positive emotions and well-being. The easiest and most immediate way is to reactivate your senses. And you know how you can do it? With very simple things. Something as simple as taking a shower. A shower with cold water, or a nice bath with warm or hot water, whatever is most pleasant for you. You can also eat something you like. And you know why? Because a pleasant taste influences your mood. Obviously, in moderation and following a healthy diet, of course, but I assure you that eating something you really like will help change your mood. Wear clothes that are comfortable, that you like, that you enjoy, and look at yourself in the mirror. You can also get a massage. Surround yourself with pleasant smells. Believe me, aromatherapy defends the influence of smells on emotional state, just as you can imagine. So, if you have the opportunity or the possibility, use a fragrance that is pleasant to you. Something that relaxes you, something that makes you feel better. Smile. Just like you hear it, smile. Find a funny video or a monologue. You can also smile or laugh on purpose. Your facial expression influences emotional processing in ways you might not imagine. Do something you enjoy. It's important to apply a technique called behavioral activation, which defines that, through behavior, we can influence emotions and thoughts. Therefore, the first thing you can do is choose an activity you like. Ask yourself, what did you like doing? What did you enjoy doing most? Why did you like it so much? How did you feel when you did it? What were you doing before doing it? How did you feel after doing it? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a complicated, difficult, or impossible activity. It should be a simple activity, one you enjoy, and one that might not require much effort. But do it. Do it without thinking too much about it. Don't overthink it. You may not feel like doing it today, but at least try. Simple as that, try. I know you're feeling really lazy right now, that you don't feel like doing it. But I assure you, once you've done it, you'll feel better. For example, here I'm sharing with you one of the things I enjoy most in my life, exercising. Believe me, there are days when I don't even feel like exercising. I'm incredibly lazy. Nothing. I'd like to stay in bed and not get up at all. But even so, with all that laziness in the world, with all that lack of desire, I put on my sneakers, I put on my workout clothes, and, well, you can't imagine how I end up doing my exercise. Even if I do everything wrong, even if I'm really lazy, I end up feeling a little better. That's what it's all about, trying, even if you don't feel like doing it. Plan activities. Once you've started activating your body, you can take a calendar and choose some activities you're interested in, and mark them on the days that work best for you. Believe me, this has the same goal as the previous point I just shared with you. You have to activate your body so that the organism produces hormones whose effects will increase well-being and improve your mood. These simple effects also influence your thoughts. These activities should be simple, not requiring much effort, as I mentioned earlier, but above all, you have to enjoy them. Over time, you can increase the level of difficulty and the frequency of the activities. The next step is very important, and if you can, write it down. Connect. Aim to interact with others in a positive way. We are social beings, we live in society, and we need to communicate, express ourselves, and share. Although each of us does it to a different extent, depending on our preferences, without needing to have more or less social contact, you should always take care of this area of your life. And be careful here, because I do want to emphasize this and share it with you. It's very important. Always try to surround yourself with positive people in your life. People who contribute something good to you, and whose company contributes to your well-being. If you have family or friends who possess these characteristics, stay with them. Stay close. Organize, plan, propose times to get together. But yes, stay away from all those negative people in your life. Those people who constantly complain, who contaminate you, who use you as a trash can to dump all their frustrations. Stay away from those people. Because those people do not, and will not, contribute anything positive to you. On the contrary, they will harm you in ways you can't even imagine. And it's likely that how you feel now may have a lot to do with a negative person who has been around you. Focus on the here and now. Focus on the present. Focus on what you have now and what you can do with it. Dwelling on the past or worrying excessively about the future, it's not worth it. Believe me, it's not worth it. How can you do it? How can you focus on the here and now? Very simple. I have 3 tips for you. First, activate your 5 senses. Just as you hear it, activate your 5 senses in what you're doing right now. Put your cell phone aside. Do one thing at a time. And when those thoughts about the future, or those thoughts about the past, come to you, let them go and return to what you're doing here and now. Second, question your beliefs. If you manage to follow the first points I just shared with you, I assure you that you will have managed to reduce your discomfort. And now, you will be able to think more clearly about your life. Remember that emotions influence thinking and behavior. And when we are very sad or tired, our thoughts are conditioned by that state. But once you've gotten out of this loop, you'll be able to have more objective thoughts. So, that's the time. It's the right time to structure your thoughts. That I don't do anything right. Or I'm very stupid, I'm very stupid. I'm good for nothing. Everything goes wrong for me, I do everything wrong. Then I better not even try. Others are better off than me. If you have those kinds of thoughts, it's time to question them. I ask you, is what you think really true? Is that place you're in really real? I'm sure it isn't. But thinking it has repercussions on your belief system, and therefore, on your behavior and your mood. With this, I want to tell you something. Our brains don't have a sense of humor. If you think you're stupid, if you think you're good for nothing, your brain will believe it. It all stems from a pessimistic idea. From something that isn't real. From something that was born from a low mood. But the important thing is that, when you manage to discover or detect those distorted ideas, you will be able to be aware of them, and change them. Change them for the complete opposite. Because the mind, our brain, is so powerful you can't imagine. It can improve your life, or harm it forever. Therefore, be very careful with what you think. Because from those thoughts, your life will fall apart. Find the meaning of your life. Reflect on what things are important to you. What are you passionate about doing? What do you do well? What do you enjoy most in your life? What is the meaning of your existence in this world? What do you want to contribute? Maybe not to the whole world, but yes, what do you want to contribute to your family? To your friends, your partner, your work, your block, your neighbors? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want them to always remember about you? That's something very important. And that's something very personal. And that's what you have to answer now. But yes, you have to start stopping to answer it. How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? How do you want to be remembered, or remembered, forever? That's what life is about. To transcend in others. To be remembered for the positive things you did. For the good things you have. Think about it. Analyze it. Meditate on it. And answer it. Always. Set goals. This is very important. What things would you like to try? What things would you like to be? What do you want to learn? What do you want to achieve or accomplish in the next few months? Goals and objectives must be very clear. They must be specific, realistic, and achievable. And do you know why? Because setting a goal, having willpower, and achieving it will generate satisfaction and an incredible sense of well-being. And that, believe me, has a positive impact on your self-esteem. Can you imagine how it will improve your perception of your own abilities? Your capabilities? And above all, your self-concept, and that perception of effectiveness that you so desperately need? You don't need to set huge goals. You don't have to set large or immense goals. Set simple goals, but ones that have a value of personal satisfaction. And don't just say, I would like to. No. Set a date. By such and such a day, in such and such a month, I want this. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to do this other thing. I'm going to achieve this. Write it down. Save it. Because when you ground your thoughts, when you ground your desires and write them down on paper, you begin to make them tangible. And that's the first step to achieving things in life. That's how I do it. It's a way of committing to ourselves. But don't fill yourself with goals. Don't fill yourself with objectives. Because I assure you, if you have too many, and you don't achieve them all, you'll get frustrated. And that's not the point. It's not about overdoing it or demanding more of yourself than necessary. As they say, he who embraces too much, achieves little. Choose the goals that you believe are achievable. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 1. But make a real commitment to yourself. May you do it, may you achieve it. And when you achieve it, when you finally achieve it, you will truly feel very proud of yourself. And last but not least, take care of yourself. Really, take good care of yourself. But like you've never done before. Respect yourself. Make time for yourself. Be kind to yourself. And, above all, be grateful. Practice gratitude. Be thankful for what you have, instead of complaining about what you don't have. Because I assure you, at the end of it all, and after all, this life, your life, will always depend on the perspective from which you look at it. You will be okay. I assure you, you will be okay. Because it was no coincidence that you heard this message. It was no coincidence that something inside you wanted to click on this video. I hope something, even a small thing, has stayed with you. That's the most beautiful way to know that it was worth sharing this message with you. Let me tell you something. I, too, have lost the will to continue living many times in my life. Many times I haven't known what will become of me. Many times I've felt completely stuck. And maybe you have too. You may have been feeling lost for a long time. Many days, many weeks, months, or even years. In the worst case, feeling lost. But even so, even if it's been many years like this, if we start looking for a way out, to look for a solution, I assure you that, sooner or later, good things will begin to arrive. I've always said, we will always have two options in life. Complain, cry, and be pessimistic about all the things that have gone wrong, about all the mistakes we've made. And stay there for a while, cry whatever we need to cry. And then, get up. Splash water on our faces. Tell ourselves, enough is enough. And start working for ourselves, for the love of our life, for the love of those who are already here, and for the love of those who will come into our lives. Because your life doesn't end with what just happened. Your life doesn't end with what you just lost. On the contrary, sooner or later, you'll realize that everything in life is cyclical. Everything has a beginning and an end. And when we begin to accept that, we begin to see life as it should be. We come to enjoy it. We come to be happy. We come to live. I hope that from now on, that from today on, you begin to truly enjoy your life. I hope you can find yourself again. And I hope you can find even a small light of that desire you lost to keep living. Because there are still many beautiful things to see. There are still many incredible people to meet. There are still many moments to experience. Things you can't even imagine. And when they come into your life, you'll look back on your past, and you'll say, wow, what the hell was I thinking at that moment in my life? And in that moment, you'll be very grateful to life and to God. Because finally, you'll understand everything. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Be patient. And don't lose faith. Because I assure you, that you'll be okay. From now on, thank you so much for sharing part of your life and your heart with me. And if I can ask you one last favor this day, at this moment, tonight, it's that just as you are now, close your eyes, and imagine that, from here, I'm giving you the strongest hug you've ever received. The one you needed so much. The one no one ever gave you. The one you yourself deserve. I'm Victor Küppers and you're in the best place you could ever fall. And now that you've made it this far, let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart. I'm deeply proud of you. Because not everyone makes it to the end. Not everyone has the courage to stay, to listen, to feel, to let a message flow through them. But you did. And that, believe me, says so much more about you than you can imagine today. I know it hasn't been easy. I know there were days when you simply couldn't take it anymore. Days when it was hard to even get out of bed. When breathing became an automatic act. And where the future seemed like a very distant word. Days when you felt invisible. Days when you silently screamed. And no one answered. But, despite all that, you are here. You are still here. And for that alone, you deserve admiration. And more than that, you deserve love. You've been led to believe that you're worth what you produce, what you achieve, what you have. But let me tell you something that no one has told you enough. You are worth for existing. You are worth for being you. And you don't need to do anything at all to deserve love. You are made of stories, scars, trials, mistakes, and also moments where you shone without realizing it. You are made of dreams that you may not yet know exist, longings you don't know how to name, and a heart that, despite everything, continues to beat strongly. This world can be confusing, chaotic, noisy, unfair at times. But it's also full of everyday miracles. Of sincere hugs, of glances that say it all, of people who still believe, like you, that you can start over, even if you're broken inside. Today I want to invite you to do something very important. To treat yourself with the same tenderness with which you treat someone you love. To not punish yourself when you fail. To not push yourself when you can't take it anymore. Not to push yourself, just hug yourself. To allow yourself to cry when you need to laugh when your soul asks for it, and to rest when your body begs for it. Life isn't a competition. You're not competing with anyone. You're just living your own story, at your own pace, in your own way, with your own steps. Do you know the most beautiful thing? That you haven't seen it all yet. You haven't yet lived the best day of your life. You haven't yet met all the people who will embrace your soul. You haven't yet been told all the words that will heal your wounds. You haven't yet danced to all the songs that will shake your body. You haven't yet written the most beautiful chapter of your story. And it's okay if you don't see it today. It's okay if everything seems gray right now. The important thing is that you keep going, even if it's just a little bit. Don't let go. Don't abandon yourself. Don't forget yourself. Because you are home too. You are hope too. You deserve your place in this world too. So when you feel like you can't go on, when the noise in your head is unbearable, when you think no one understands you, come back to yourself. Come back to this message. Come back to that space inside you where calm still lives. And if at any moment you need a reminder, look in the mirror and repeat with me. I am alive. I am here. And even if it doesn't seem like it today, I know I'll be okay. Because I promise you, you'll be okay. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for resisting. Thank you for existing. And if this message touched something in you, if it awakened a seed, if it stirred a dormant emotion, then you'll know you're not alone. You never were. And you never will be. Because on this journey to life, there are more people like you. Brave, sensitive, powerful, human. Willing to rebuild themselves again and again. So keep walking. At your own pace. With your own steps. With your own timing. With faith. With patience. And with lots of love. The world is not complete without you. Life is not complete without you. And this is just beginning. And now, if you've made it this far, all I have left to do is thank you. But not just a simple thank you, but a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for staying. Thank you for resisting. Thank you for being here even when everything inside you screamed at you to give up. Because you did. Because, despite the tiredness, the sadness, the loneliness, the fear, you kept going. Even if it was with clumsy steps, even if it was without strength, even if it was without desire. And that, my dear friend, is courage. That is the purest form of courage there is. And I know that maybe you still feel lost, broken, confused, dull. But I also know something else. No one who is broken stays broken forever. No one who has hit rock bottom stays there. Do you know why? Because deep down is where you discover who you really are. Deep down, when there's nothing left to hold on to, is where hope is reborn. Maybe today you don't see clearly what's coming. Maybe you're still deeply hurt by what happened. Maybe there are days when you ask yourself, why go on? But believe me, somewhere in this life, new smiles are waiting for you. People you haven't met yet but who will mark your soul. Moments so unique to you, so unrepeatable, that one day you'll look back and say, thank goodness I didn't give up. Your story doesn't end here. This chapter you're going through isn't the end. It's just that, a chapter. And if today you feel stuck, dull, sunk, then allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to cry. But never, ever close the book. Because there are still pages left to write. There are still battles you'll win. People who will hug you. Songs that will shake you. Places that will make you feel alive. And if no one has told you today, I want to. I'm proud of you. Proud to get up every morning, even if you don't have the strength. Proud to keep seeking help, to try to change. To want to feel better. Proud because, even if you don't believe it, you are healing. Little by little, step by step. You are learning to be more compassionate with yourself. To listen to yourself, to take care of yourself. And that, even if it seems small, changes everything. So, please, don't let go. Don't abandon yourself. Don't stop trying. It doesn't matter if you've failed 1,000 times. If you've given up just as many times. Today is a new opportunity. Today you can still start. Today you can still choose to live. And you don't have to do it all at once. Just take one step. One small step. Sometimes, just that changes everything. And if you can't do it tomorrow, that's okay. Just try the day after tomorrow. And if you fall again, it's okay. You get up again. And while you do, remember this. You are not alone. Here is a place you can always return to. A message, a hug, a voice that tells you, I see you. I hear you. I understand you. And I believe in you. And if one day you forget how strong you are, return to this video. Return to this message. And let it remind you. Because you deserve it. Because you are worth it. Because there is still so much to live for. Thank you for existing. Thank you for staying. And, above all, thank you for not giving up. I will be here, waiting for you whenever you need me. See you along the way, on this beautiful journey called life. And before you close this video, before you turn off the screen and continue with your day, I just want to ask you one last thing. Take this message with you. Keep it in the most sincere corner of your soul. Bring it back to your mind whenever you feel like you can't. Remember it on those days when the world becomes too noisy, and your heart too fragile. Because this wasn't just a text. It wasn't just a voice or music in the background. It was a hug disguised as words. A little piece of love sent from the soul, straight to yours. And if something inside you stirred, if a tear fell without you looking for it, if you felt like someone understood you without even knowing you, then, you are no longer alone. We are closer than it seems. At this very moment, there are thousands of hearts beating to the same rhythm as yours. People who have also cried, also fallen, also thought about giving up, but decided to keep going. And you are one of them. So keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's with fear, even if you don't yet see the path clearly. Keep going. Because every step you take is an act of courage. Every breath you take is proof that you are alive. And every time you choose not to give up, the entire universe applauds in silence. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Thank you for giving meaning to these words. And remember, no matter how dark everything seems today, there is always, always light waiting at the end of the tunnel. Don't stop looking for it. Don't stop believing. Don't stop being you. We'll meet again very soon, in another message, in another hug, in another sign that life sends you just when you need it most. Until then, take care of yourself, love yourself, and never forget, you deserve the best in this life. And the best is yet to come. And now that you've made it this far, allow me to tell you something we don't always stop to hear. Thank you for existing. You don't know how important your presence has been today. Maybe you just watched another video? Maybe you thought they were just words thrown to the wind. But no. They were words that came from the soul. Words with direction. Words that had your name hidden between each line, waiting for the exact moment to touch your heart. Because this message wasn't a coincidence. It was an encounter. An encounter between what you felt and what you needed to hear. A point of connection between your silence and my voice. A bridge between the pain you've carried for so long and the hope that still insists on staying. And if you're still here, if after all you decided to stay until the end, that says much more about you than any title, achievement, or appearance. It says you have strength, even if you don't always believe it. It says there's a light inside you that not even the thickest darkness has been able to extinguish. Because staying, when everything inside screams to flee, is an act of silent courage. And you did it. So breathe. Take a second. Close your eyes if you can, and just feel this. I'm so proud of you. Proud for continuing. For listening. For giving you the chance to feel something, even if it hurt. For allowing you this pause, this sigh in the midst of chaos. For opening the door to your humanity. For just an instant. And no, you are not alone. Even though it sometimes seems like the world doesn't listen. That no one notices your inner struggles. That your tears hide in your pillow. I assure you that there are hearts beating with you. Hearts that have also fallen 1,000 times. And still rise again. Hearts that know sadness, but also tenderness. And that, like you, continue walking step by step, even if they don't always know where they're going. Because in this life, it's not about having all the answers. It's about continuing to ask the right questions. About getting back up even when you have no strength. About holding on to yourself, even when everything seems to be shaking. So today, please, make me a promise. Promise yourself that you won't let go of your story. Promise yourself that, even if it hurts, you won't give up on yourself. Promise yourself that, on the gray days, you'll look for a little bit of light, even if it's just the tiniest bit. And if you can't find it, I promise you, I'll look for it with you. Because you're not a lost cause. You're a story in the making. A soul that has survived storms, and still, continues to bet on love. And that, dear heart, is worth gold. So don't leave this video thinking it was just a moment. Take something with you. Take a thought, a phrase, an image, an emotion. Keep it in the pocket of your soul. And when you're afraid, when you can't see the way, when your strength fails you, take it out again. Let it speak to you. Let it remind you that you're not alone. And when someone else tells you that you can't, that you're worthless, that you have no future, smile. Because you know you've survived battles that no one else could understand. You are strong, even when you don't seem so. You are light, even when you feel like you're in the dark. And above all, you are necessary. Yes, you. With your wounds, with your doubts, with your story. The world isn't complete without you. Life isn't the same without you. You are needed. You matter. So please, when you leave here, take care of yourself. Hug yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. And never, ever give up on yourself. Because as long as you are here, there is hope. As long as you keep breathing, there are still chapters to write. As long as you keep fighting, love has meaning. And if one day you forget all this, come back. I'll be here, waiting for you with the same words, with the same hug, with the same open heart. Thank you for staying. Thank you for resisting. Thank you for being you. And remember, this doesn't end here. This is just beginning. Thank you for watching and listening to this video. We hope you liked it and that you take away something valuable. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so YouTube will notify you when we upload a new video, where we can sit and reflect, pray, or just be. This personal sanctuary is a reminder that the divine is not far away, but within and around us.